Welcome to the world of Marissa Marchan channel. A weekly serialized story full of heartfelt moments and relatable characters that will capture audience's attention. Coming to America, The Journey, Part 4. Learning English. Moving to Hawaii brought our family back together again. We finally felt like we belonged somewhere, and it was the beginning of an exciting chapter in our lives. Now that we had explored the island, it was time to establish our roots. Dad took us to Social Security to get our cards and health district paperwork processed. It was an essential step before we could officially enroll in classes. After that, we visited the school office to enroll and pick up our schedules. The school was much larger than we had imagined, with bustling hallways and classrooms filled with eager students. They handed us our class schedules and informed us of the start time for our first day. We had the weekend to improve our communication skills. Considering English was a second language in the Philippines, I assumed speaking English would be no problem. We understood English well, but our conversational fluency was different. The issue was our fear of expressing ourselves publicly. We worried that our accent would make us stand out, or that we might use the wrong words and embarrass ourselves. We just needed a little push to build our confidence. To overcome this fear, I practiced speaking English by answering the phone whenever it rang. However, it was easier said than done. When the phone rang, I hid in the room, praying someone else would pick it up. It was nerve-wracking. Our younger sister, Lonnie, was our first teacher. Despite being 6 years old, she spoke fluent English. Her English was so flawless I felt jealous, wishing I could speak as confidently as she did without stumbling over my words. Our practice with Lonnie helped us build confidence, and by Monday, we were ready to begin our new school year. I entered high school while Edith was in middle school. Tessie worked at the airport with Loida. I felt completely overwhelmed by the school's sheer size and number of students. Each of my teachers introduced me as a new student. Kamaaina, locals, Japanese, Koreans, Chinese, Samoans, and Filipinos were there. They greeted me with curiosity and apprehension. As I walked to my classes and navigated the schoolyard, I heard people speaking in a strange language. I felt my head spinning. "Ho brada, how's it? I never see you plenty long time. You still over with your mother guys? You remember where I put KINE? It was right by KINE when I left for KINE. My sister can sing so good, gimme all KINE chicken skin. Are you pal?" What in the world? I couldn't understand a single word they were saying. It felt like I had landed in a completely different universe. I learned that they spoke a local dialect called Pidgin English, Hawaii's unofficial language. KINE could be a person, place, or thing. How's it? How are you doing? Brada, brother or friend. Chicken skin, goosebumps. Pal, complete or finished. It was difficult enough to learn English, now I had to learn Hawaiian Pidgin too. This dialect blended English with influences from Hawaiian, Japanese, and Filipino languages. It was commonly spoken at school, which made my communication efforts harder. It was a completely new experience and felt like a completely different language from another world. Despite my efforts to blend in, my shaky voice and accent made some students giggle, which only heightened my anxiety. The teachers spoke so quickly that I struggled to keep up with the lessons. By lunchtime, I felt out of place and wanted to return home. My last class was TESL, or Teaching English as a Second Language, with Miss Nakamura. She greeted me with a warm smile and a reassuring presence that immediately put me at ease. In her class, I met Filipinos, Chinese, Japanese, and other students who also learned English as a second language. It was comforting to know that I was not alone in my struggles and that we could support each other. Miss Nakamura's patience and dedication helped us improve our language skills and gave us the confidence to practice speaking without fear of judgment. Edith and I learned how to speak English confidently with an unexpected person. One day, Loida came home with a Caucasian friend named Rudy White. He always followed Loida home like a lost puppy. Rudy also worked at the airport and always brought peanuts from Pan Am Airlines. At first, we were excited, but soon we grew tired of the endless supply of peanuts and wished for something different. Regardless of whether he was invited or not, Rudy always seemed to be around, making himself at home. Mom used to scold Loida for letting Rudy in because he never wanted to leave. As soon as he entered the house, he sat in the living room watching television until late at night. It didn't matter that no one talked to him. Rudy was comfortable being there as if our house had become his second home. Rudy stayed until we served dinner, settling in and engaging in conversation with us as if he were a family member. He enjoyed every dish we offered him. In my opinion, he was a freeloader taking advantage of our hospitality. The food was so delicious that Rudy asked for seconds and asked what the dish was called. Jokester that I was, I said, "We call it ta'e, which means poop in Filipino." My family spit out their food when they heard what I said and burst into laughter. Rudy, clueless but amused, joined in the laughter without understanding the joke. He said, "Ta'e? This ta'e is so tasty." The way he said it was cute. We roared with laughter, tears streaming down our faces as we tried to catch our breath. Rudy, still oblivious to the true meaning, kept repeating, "Ta'e is tasty," which only made us laugh harder. It was my guilt that prompted me to explain what I had said to Rudy, who thought it was hilarious and laughed along. My family and I knew Rudy was a nuisance, but over time, he turned into a familiar presence that we grew accustomed to. However, we didn't know how Edith, Lonnie, and I became responsible for him. We got the worst part of the bargain. We stayed with him and kept him company. We took advantage of the opportunity to practice English with him. Rudy's conversations, though sometimes intrusive, gave us a chance to speak more fluently and gain confidence. His uninvited visits became less of a hassle and more of an unexpected learning experience. Rudy taught us to play Hanaputa, a Japanese card game, and we learned poker too. We enjoyed it, but we were still just kids, and sometimes we wanted our own space without Rudy around. We missed having the living room to ourselves, where we could play our own games and watch our favorite shows. Despite Rudy's contributions to our language skills, we often wished for a break from his constant presence. And so, one day, I did something no one in my family would dare to say. It was time to end these late-night card sessions. I stood up and told Rudy it was time to leave. It was a school night, so we had to go to sleep. Rudy seemed surprised at first, but eventually got the hint and left quietly. Although I felt bad, it worked. That's how I learned assertiveness, and to this day, I carry that lesson with me in every challenging situation. Not having a wife or children made us feel sorry for Rudy. But he wasn't our responsibility, and we had our own lives to lead. One day, Loida introduced Rudy to one of her female friends, and we did not see him again. We assumed he had finally found the companionship he sought, and no longer felt the need to spend his evenings with us. The house felt empty without Rudy's constant presence, but we were relieved to have our evenings back. It was a bittersweet end to an unusual chapter in our lives. I was grateful for the way Rudy had unknowingly helped us improve our English. His visits, though sometimes unwelcome, had given us countless opportunities to practice speaking and listening. Looking back, I realized that Rudy White had played a significant role in our journey toward fluency. How about you? Did you ever have someone like Rudy in your life? Tune in next week for another exciting episode from Marissa Marchan channel. Please check out my channel trailer video to learn more about the exciting content you can expect from my channel. Your support means the world to me. I write young adult, new adult, and middle grade fiction. For more information about my work, visit marissamarchan.com. Don't forget to watch my other videos. Thank you.